Battalion, 6th Marines, 2nd Marine Division, Camp Lejeune.
Mhm.
And right about the time I got there in September, and in October the 16th, the Six-Day War broke out over in Israel. And my battalion was put on order for that, and we were shipped out immediately. We were told that we were going over to support the Israelis. And about halfway over there, about the time our ships entered the Mediterranean Sea, we were told, no, the Israelis are doing well enough without you. Now what you're going to have to do is go in and get in between the Israelis and the Egyptians, because the Russians had told the United States that if we didn't rein the Israelis in a little bit, then they would come in on the side of the Egyptians. So we were, by the time we got over there, we were totally confused about what our mission was.
Uh-huh.
But meanwhile, of course, that I missed my chance to go to law school, and we were sent over there. We were over in the Mideast area for about 9 months. The usual cruise over there is 6 months, but we went over a couple months early, and we were there a month late.
Uh-huh.
It ended up probably the most exciting thing we did was we helped clear the mines and all the wreckage out of the Suez Canal. I think I said the 6-Day War a minute ago. It wasn't that. It was called the October War. The October War of 1973.
Okay.
We stayed over there and we cleaned things up and finally got everything settled back down. Then I came back to the United States. Then I went on 2 or 3 other cruises. I went on a Carib cruise. I went on a NATO cruise, which was very interesting. My battalion was one of the first units to go back in Germany, first Marine Corps unit to go back in Germany since World War I. But we went in as a regiment into Germany and went on operations with at that time, the West Germans.
Mm-hmm.
We operated over toward Hamburg, which was fairly close to the East German border, and that was interesting. We went up around, we went up to Iceland. We did some operations with the Icelandic forces. We went into Scotland and operated with the Royal Marines, British Royal Marines. They were a fantastic organization. They were, all the people up there just loved us. And we had 5 ships, and we put into a little port called Dundee, Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that lived all around would come down to the ships and ask if they could take a Marine or a sailor home to dinner. And it was just great. They treated us really great. They probably treated us better there than anywhere I've ever been in the world. But it was fantastic. Okay, came back to the United States. Let's see, what was next? Then I went to what's called Amphibious Warfare School, which is a mid-level school for company grade officers. I was a captain by then.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Amphibious Warfare School, which is a year at Quantico, Virginia, 9 months to a year. And then when I graduated from there, I was sent back over to Okinawa. Did a year on Okinawa, and I was with the 3rd Marine Division then. So by that time I'd spent time with the 1st Marine Division, 2nd Marine Division, 3rd Marine Division, and 2nd Marine Air Wing. So again, I was I was a company commander, and then after 6 months as a company commander, they sent me to the Communications Battalion, and I was the executive officer of the Division Communications Battalion, which was an interesting job because I had to have, we handled all the communications between the division and Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to have a top-level security clearance, and that was interesting. Let's see. After Quantico, or after that, I came back. I was stationed at Quantico. And then at Quantico, I decided it was time to get out. I'd been in the Marine Corps then about 13 years, and about 11 of those years I had spent overseas. And that's kind of really neat when you're young and so on. But by that time in my life, I wanted to settle down, get married, so I decided to get out of the Marine Corps. This was in June of 1980. I got out of the Marine Corps, came back here to Braxton County, to Gassaway, met my wife that I'm married to now. We were married, and went to Glenville, got my teaching certificate, started teaching out of Braxton County High School.
Okay. At this point, do you feel that was, I mean, would you have changed anything? Would you have stayed in, or?
No, I don't regret a minute that I spent in the Marine Corps, but I don't regret getting out either. I think I don't have any regrets at all either way. I think I did the right thing all along.
Okay.
Everybody says, oh, you could have gone 6 more years and you could have retired, but who knows what would have happened in that 6 years. One of the units from Camp Lejeune was the unit that was involved in the Beirut bombing, where 200 Marines were killed with one bomb. And I don't know, I was just ready to get out.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add, possibly some advice for individuals that are thinking about joining the military or possibly in the military now?
One little thing my dad always told me, he said, remember this when you go in the Marine Corps, when you go in the military. He said, remember, they can't make you do anything, but they can make you wish you had. So I always took that to heart. Everybody tells you, oh, don't volunteer for anything. Well, I volunteered for lots of things, but just make sure that you have a clear idea of what you're supposed to do. And I think today, the military is still an excellent career for any young man or woman. It's especially interesting the way the military has opened up to women since when I was in. It's a fine opportunity, especially even if you just want to go in for 4 or 5 years and learn a trade, learn something, finish up your school. The military is very big on finishing up schooling. I know I probably would have not finished up college had not the Marine Corps encouraged me to go get my degree and then to go on and get my graduate degree. So I have, and all the branches, of course I'm Marine Corps and love the Marine Corps, and I think it's the finest branch, but I think all the branches of the military right now are very professional, very good outfits.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking time to do this interview, and especially thank you for your service to our country.
Well, thank you. You're very welcome.